Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are Minnesota.
Summer has officially arrived in downtown Minneapolis. The high temperature today, 92. It's a hot, humid night at Target Field as the Twins and Red Sox get set to open a three-game series. They still say it feels like 88 degrees here this evening. Some of the hottest hitters in baseball will be on display here. 3 of the top 5 in the American League. 5 of the top 11 will be involved in this series, including Eduardo Nunez for the Twins, who's been red hot lately. The pitching matchup tonight, Stephen Wright goes for the Red Sox. Tyler Duffy will counter for the Twins. Duffy trying to get back on track after a brilliant start to the season. His numbers have swelled, an ERA of almost 8 in his last 4 starts. I'm Anthony LaPanta, and welcome to Target Field, where it's hot and sticky, and the Twins trying to build off a series win against the Marlins. They took 2 of 3 earlier this week, their first series win here at home since late April. But they'll face this Red Sox club that has been red hot throughout the season. Boston finished last in the American League East last year. This year they lead Major League Baseball with a .290 batting average, 342 runs scored. That's 39 more than any team in the American League. Their batting average, 21 points clear of the second highest in the AL. David Ortiz makes his final trip to Minnesota. The 40-year-old slugger will retire after the season. Over the last 4 years, since he started as a 37-year-old in 2013, nobody's driven in more runs. Eduardo Nunez has been red hot for Minnesota. We showed you his season average. He has multiple hits in 10 of his last 14 games. 391 average over that stretch with an OPS of almost 1,200. Those will be some of the players to watch. But up next, Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven with more on David Ortiz, his last trip to Target Field, which has felt just like home to the former Twin slugger.
to facing his former team, especially here at Target Field.
Blasted to right center field. 6 runs batted in for Ortiz. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
A double and 2 more home runs tonight. And as David Ortiz makes his farewell tour through Major League Baseball, he's got one more opportunity to torment his former team. It's the opener of a 3-game series between the Twins and the Red Sox. Dick and Bert with you for the opening game here on this Friday night. And David Ortiz has certainly enjoyed hitting against the Twins since he signed with the Red Sox.
I'll tell you what, David Ortiz was a free agent. He signed with the Boston Red Sox. And since Target Field opened, I'll tell you what, you look at these numbers and you say, wow. 17 games, 9 home runs. He's driven in 23 runs. He needs a day off. He doesn't need to play. We honored him before the ballgame. He needs to take a day off but he has enjoyed hitting here. David Ortiz, a classy man in his final year at 40 years old.
Twins hoping in 2016 to restore some credibility, particularly to the starting rotation. And Tyler Duffy hopes to take a step in that direction tonight.
Traveled 500 feet. This ball is gone! A game winner for David Ortiz. Swing and drive. Deep right. Way back Sheffield. It's gone! The Red Sox have won it. Hard hitting to right. Back at the wall. Tie game! Big Puppy. Grand slam. He's been as clutch. Maybe more clutch than any hitter in the game since he came to the Red Sox.
Hitting third, the designated hitter and reigning World Series MVP, number 34, Big Papi, David Ortiz.
And Ortiz maintains this will be his last year, even though it may end up being his most productive year as a hitter. Tyler Duffy on the mound for the Twins, and he'll face the Red Sox here for the first time. Mookie Betts in the box, and we're about ready to go already.
It'll be important here in this ball game for Tyler Duffy to establish his fastball. Yes, he's got a good curveball, but to get ahead with that fastball, just like that. Good pitch.
John Farrell has his team playing awfully well, scoring a lot of runs. They've got some pitching concerns, and they've lost 8 of their last 13 ball games, but
yeah, they had a miserable year last year, but boy, have they turned it around this year.
1-1. Mookie Betts, a big part of an incredible lineup. They've scored 70 runs more than they have allowed. Foul back, 1-2. The Menards lineup for the Red Sox, a lot of 300 hitters and a lot of power in the lineup. Betts just under 300, Pedroia over 300, Bogarts over 300, Ortiz. Hanley Ramirez, you hardly hear about him, but he's having a decent year. Jackie Bradley Jr., Shaw, Young, and Vasquez. And a high fastball. Betts chases, and Duffy starts the night with a strikeout.
Yeah, good fastball. Had a little bit of almost a sail on it right there. Ball took off a little bit. Watch this ball kind of right there. Just had some little extra on it. Strikeout for Duffy.
And Duffy's had kind of 2 seasons within one. He started out pitching awfully well, but the last few haven't gone so well.
Yeah, the first 4 not, or the last 4 not good at all. First 4 outstanding.
Drive to right center field off the bat of Pedroia. And about halfway up the wall, Pedroia goes into second with a first pitch double. 16-game hitting streak, and Pedroia extended it to 16 games on Duffy's first pitch. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Robbie Grossman's in left. Byron Buxton in center and Max Kepler in right. Plouffe, Nunez, Dozier, and Park around the infield. Bauer DHing and Kurt Suzuki behind the plate.
Yeah, the Red Sox hitting .290 as a ball club. That is their 153rd double, the most in baseball.
Xander Bogaerts leading the world with 84 hits already this year and a .340 batting average.
Yeah, Victor Martinez just 1 point ahead of him in the batting race.
Jim Wolf called that a ball. Looked like it had the corner. He has plate duty. Adrian Johnson, Gary Cederstrom, and Eric Cooper on the bases. 1-0 to Bogaerts. And a breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, we saw Betts. Now we see Bogaerts. They have some veterans like Pedroia, Ortiz, of course, but these youngsters are stepping up. Bogaerts only 23 years old. Betts only 23 years old. Then you have Bradley lower in the lineup, only 25 years old.
Chopper foul. Our Toyota key stat. Jackie Bradley Jr. with the longest hitting streak, and Bogaerts right behind him. And now Pedroia building one. He's up to 16 games. Red Sox have played 59 games. They've scored 56 first inning runs. So Duffy, as ticklish as the situation might be, a lot of starting pitchers have been in this situation against the Red Sox. And a foul ball.
Well, it's no secret really that Bogaerts is hitting .340. Last year he hit .320 throughout the whole season, second behind Miguel Cabrera in the batting race, who hit .338. Bogaerts hit .320.
One and two. And a chopper foul.
Duffy making his first career start against the Boston Red Sox. This is his 9th start of the year, his 19th major league start. 2 wins, 4 losses on the year, an ERA just under 5.
And Ortiz looming on deck. High fastball, a check swing. 2-2.
Bogaerts from Aruba, signed by the Red Sox back in 2009 as a free agent.
Tried to flip the inside corner with a fastball, and now it's a full count. Be important for Duffy to get Bogaerts here, because at least he'd have the option with first base open of pitching very carefully to David Ortiz.
Well, and this where lineups complement each other too, with Ortiz on deck. You don't want to walk him either.
Breaking ball dribbled in front of Plouffe, and Plouffe who had no play. It's an infield hit, and Ortiz will come up with 2 men aboard.
Batting fourth for the Red Sox, designated hitter number 34, David Ortiz.
Nice to see a lot of the crowd standing for David Ortiz's first at bat in his 14th season with the Boston Red Sox, his 20th major league season overall. Thanks for the memories. 9-time All-Star David Ortiz.
So you go into a series and the pitchers meet and they discuss, among other things, we don't want this particular guy to beat you. Now the first time you face him, there's 2 on and 1 out. You got to pitch to him. A breaking ball over, strike 1.
I showed you the runs batted in, 55. That leads the American League in that department. 3rd in the American League in hitting.
1 strike to Ortiz. Paul Molitor, in talking about Duffy, said, well, from where he sits, the biggest change is in the last 4 starts, Duffy has had a lot of hitters' counts that he's had to try to pitch through. That's why this next pitch is important. It's a lot easier to get a batter out if the count's 1 and 2 rather than 2 and 1.
I said you have to establish that fastball and hit your spot. And now he does fall behind. And I've seen his curveball. I thought his first 4 starts, his curveball had a little better bite to it on a downward plane. It's flattened out a little bit, meaning that he's getting underneath that breaking ball.
On the ground, juggled by Park. They might very well have gotten 2. Park was playing a deep first base. Ortiz doesn't run well, but the juggle cost the Twins a potential inning-ending double play.
Well, Park did the right thing after he kind of bobbled that ball right there, is get the out. But the ball hit hard enough. Of course, David not getting down that line very quickly. The ball came up on Park, and they get the out at first, but both runners advance. 2nd
and 3rd, 2 down. The Twins kind of gave away the first 2 runs of the ball game last night by not playing crisply in the field. A lot of it, the starting pitcher, Irvin Santana, who had committed a throwing error and then committed a balk, and now Suzuki and Duffy will talk about Hanley Ramirez. That was a quick trip, and it wasn't even to the mound. It was halfway between the mound and home plate.
That is a quick trip right there. Ramirez in his 2nd season with the Boston Red Sox. Last year they put him out in left field. That did not pan out. He ended up getting hurt. Hit only 249, but this guy can drive the ball a long way. You have to be careful. A lot of power.
Breaking ball over, strike 1.
.214 career home runs for Ramirez, only 4 so far this year. I was talking to Chili Davis, a hitting coach, former Twin, before the ball game about Ramirez, and he said, boy, it's the best thing they did is bring him back in the infield.
Plouffe gets a hot 2-hopper, sets and fires, and the inning ends. Couple of hits for the Red Sox, but Duffy pitches out of a jam, no score. Paul Molitor hoping that the series win over the Marlins is a sign of things to come. The Twins won 5 of the 7 games last year, and in game 1 of the season series, this is the Twins Menard batting order: Nunez, Grossman, and Mauer, Plouffe, Dozier, and Hart, and Kepler, Suzuki, and Buxton.
Well, Stephen Wright on the mound here tonight, looking for win number 7, making his 12th start. And he has been red hot on the road as of late. His last 3 road starts, complete games. 2 victories, 1 loss, 2 9-inning complete games, 1 8-inning complete game. But he's making his 2nd career start against the Twins. He pitched at Fenway Park last year against the Twins. Got a no decision in the Twins' 8-4 win.
Nunez, Grossman, and Mauer to get things started for the Twins.
He's a knuckleballer that will also mix in a fastball. There's a knuckleball right there.
Started the transition to the knuckleball in 2011. So this is his 6th year. And Nunez swings and misses. He'll throw it between 65 and 75 miles per hour. That was his fastest one. Dribbler, and Wright threw to first with some spin on the ball, 1 away.
Yeah, you're supposed to throw a knuckler over there.
Northland Ford defense for the Red Sox. Young has done a great job for the Red Sox offensively and in the field. Jackie Bradley Jr. center fielder. Betts was a center fielder last year. So they have 3 center fielders in their outfield: Shaw, Bogarts, Pedroia, Ramirez the infielders, and Vasquez behind the plate. You know, one of the great things about high definition television, and I think the view you'll get from the center field camera on that last pitch, you can see, even from the center field camera, you can see the seams. There's no movement, no spin. And now Grossman takes ball 1. That winged the umpire.
Yeah, I got Jim Wolf on the right hand. So a lot of times a knuckleball will go north to south. This one kind of went east to west. Look at this thing take off. And almost clipping the elbow of Grossman, but then gets the umpire.
And now Grossman takes one down and away, 2-0. Asked Grossman the other day, you know, sometimes switch hitters go to their preferred side against a knuckleballer, and Grossman's preferred side is the right side, but he said no, he's had some success. Hit a home run against R.A. Dickey from the left side of the plate, so he would hit left-handed here. And another fastball on the outside corner.
And that's what he'll do. You know, when you're looking at a situation that he wants to get even back in that count, he'll drop that fastball, a lot like Tom Candiotti would have done. He'll also mix in a curveball.
Up high.
Yeah, Wright credits Tim Wakefield, the former knuckleballer for the Boston Red Sox, in really helping him develop that knuckleball to get to where he's at now. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues.
Ball 4, and that got a piece of the catcher and the umpire. You can't ask any more than what Wright's given the Red Sox in his last 3 road starts.
No, back on May 8th against the Yankees, he ended up winning 5-1, 9 innings, only 1 run allowed on 3 hits. And then in Kansas City, he lost 3-2, but gave up only 3 runs on 5 hits. And then his last road trip in Baltimore, he won 7-2, 9 innings, only 4 hits allowed. In those 3 road starts, 2-1 with a 2.08 earned run average.
Grossman at first, 1 away. And Mauer takes strike 1. This is the first time, by the way, that Christian Vasquez has caught Stephen Wright. And he's already had a couple of adventures back there. Don't know what it would do to the Twins' running plans. On the one hand, you say, well, don't bother trying to steal because the catcher might not be able to handle the pitch anyway. Up and away. But, of course, it takes the knuckleball a little while to get to home plate. And the catcher has a tough time finding the ball in that big glove.
Yeah, you see the big glove that catchers will have, and usually the pitcher carries that glove around with him. I know Wakefield had a couple big gloves with him, and the catchers would use it.
Fouled away, 1-2.
There's a fastball right there at 85.
The walk to Grossman is kind of pick up on a trend. In his last 2 starts, Wright's walked 5 men in each of his starts, and that's one of the theories too about how to attack a knuckleballer. It's not swinging so much as not swinging if he can't control the pitch.
Yeah, 31 walks in 75 innings pitched so far.
1-2 to Mauer. And a ground ball towards second. Pedroia flips to Bogarts, and a double play ends the inning. A scoreless first, and when we come back, LaTroy Hawkins will join us here in the booth, talking about, among other things, Big Papi. If you're a baseball fan, then you need the all-new Fox Sports app. Get highlights, interviews, injury updates, scores, and instant alerts on your favorite teams and rivals. Download now on the iOS App Store, Google Play, or visit foxsports.com/app. On to the second. Jackie Bradley Jr. facing Tyler Duffy, and the first pitch a breaking ball over, and we've seen Duffy throw that breaking pitch for a get-me-over strike a number of times already. Bradley, Shaw, and Young will bat here for the Red Sox. This one dumped behind third, a foul ball, 2 strikes. You talk about bringing back some memories. They had an on-field ceremony here for David Ortiz, who of course is playing his final year after a great career, and just the people that the Twins brought in, 2 of them just finished tremendous major league careers. Torrey Hunter, of course, who finished with the Twins, and LaTroy Hawkins, who's also adjusting to retirement after a tremendous career. We're very happy to see LaTroy back in Minnesota, and congratulations to you on a great career that you've had. How have you adjusted to not putting on a uniform?
I always tell people, I say, I need a vacation for retirement. I've been so busy that I hadn't even, pretty much had a chance to miss the game.
Now, I know you're doing a radio show. You're kind of still in the game of baseball by the show that you do.
Yes, I work for an app company. It's internet radio called TuneIn Radio. You download the app on your smartphone. It's free. You can listen to any radio station in the world, and we do baseball. We do live look-ins. We'll shoot you to if Joe Mauer he's on a hit streak. We'll go to his at-bats. We'll go to the local radio feeds or the visiting radio feed, and after that, come back, bring it back to us, and we'll discuss it. We'll analyze it.
Jackie Bradley Jr. bouncing out to Dozier, 1 away, and that'll bring up Travis Shaw.
LaTroy, you played for so many different teams, but your memories here in Minnesota, because you came up as a Twin, has to be, I mean, number one.
You know what? I played with a lot of teams, like you said, but at the end of the day, I've always been a Twin, and I'm just for the rest of my life, I am a Twin.
It had to be fun to see and reminisce with David Ortiz down there. And, did you think at that time, back in 2002, or then, he became a free agent, went to Boston, that he was going to be the player that he turned out to be?
Well, I don't think anybody envisioned that he would do what he's doing now. Not even David. If he told you that, I don't think he would be truthful with us. But it's good to see him, just leave here and just flourish as a player, as an individual. And you know, we had lunch with him today, and it was just like back in '97 to 2002. You know, he was just the life of the thing on.
It was a special
lunch.
team you guys had, wasn't it?
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I told somebody today that when Corey Kosky, David Ortiz, Torrey Hunter, Matt Lawton, Jock Jones, when we all get together, we laugh more and we see each other sporadically than I've seen guys in the clubhouse laugh in the whole season. So that lets you know how the game has changed.
Well, I've always said that group that you were a big part of, transitioning out of some really dark times baseball wise here, you were part of those too. But that group, starting in 2001, you guys all survived the contraction scare that winter and then won a division, won a playoff round in 2002. That group of guys should be revered in this area every bit as much as the world championship teams, because of what you meant. You put baseball back on everybody's radar screen in this market.
You know, Dick, when you're going through it, you don't understand the significance. I didn't understand it until about 3 or 4 years ago that we were almost contracted out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
We almost had to go to North Carolina somewhere. But you know, it's just, you know, I have to give a lot of credit to Tom Kelly. He told us from day one when they started talking about contraction, don't worry about that. Only worry about what you can control, and that's on the field. And I think we all bought into that. And once we got that in our mind, you know, we started to play better. We started to mature as players and as young men, and we bought into TK's plan, and we started to get better.
What I tell people is, if you enjoy this ballpark, if you've been here for just even one game, or you enjoy watching it on TV, this ballpark is here. Hot ground ball picked up by Plouffe, firing across, and it's a good 1-2-3 inning for Duffy. This ballpark is here because of the crew that LaTroy Hawkins was a part of 15 years ago. A scoreless inning and a half. More with LaTroy Hawkins when we come back.
Here at Target Field, I'm Marnie Gellner. Tonight, the Twins are facing a knuckleball pitcher in Stephen Wright. So I asked Minnesota hitting coach Tom Bernansky some of the specifics that the hitters will be working on tonight. And Bruno said, well, first of all, we'd like to find out if a hitter has had any success against a knuckleball pitcher. And if he has, we say stick with your approach. And if you haven't, you just stick with the old motto. If it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. Bruno also said a lot of hitters like to move up in the box, maybe try to catch the ball in front a little bit. And a lot of guys will look for a secondary pitch, try to lay off the knuckleball. And one guy to watch in particular tonight is Byung-Ho Park, who has never seen a knuckleball pitcher. He will face one tonight. Wright throws that knuckleball about 90% of the time. So Dick Burt and LaTroy Hawkins, this could be a bit of an experience here tonight.
Popped up right side.
And we won't laugh at him.
I promise. What's the saying? Ignorance is bliss if you've never seen it. Kloof pops up to Hanley Ramirez, one away down. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven, joined by LaTroy Hawkins.
LaTroy, you ever try a knuckleball?
Never, Bert. I had a problem throwing a curveball and a changeup. Definitely didn't want to fool with that knuckleball.
You'd mentioned that awful winter that we all went through as fans living in this area when it looked as if the Twins were going to be contracted and the players are going to be dispersed to, you know, they were going to have an open draft, and some of you might have ended up with the Padres, some of you might have ended up with the Yankees. Across the diamond, and Dozier's quickly retired, 2 down. But what was it like from a player's standpoint? Because everybody was uncertain what, if anything, was going to happen, and no one would have been impacted more than the players.
Well, you're definitely right about that. We would have been impacted, but you know, Tom Kelly did a great job, I think, you know, reminding us that you have to worry about control what you can control, and we couldn't control contraction. You know, it was in the hands of somebody else, and he conveyed that to us. He made sure we knew it every day. He preached it to us, and you know, if you didn't listen to TK, I mean, I thought, you know, when I was here, I thought his word was, you know, the gospel. I mean, without him, I don't think my career would have, you know, taken off like it did, just because I had a great foundation from a great manager.
Well, we're talking about Park never seeing a knuckleball. So what does Wright do on pitch 1? Fastball to get ahead, and then that floater right there that Park just swung wildly at.
2 strikes. And now a ball.
Well, I tell you what, as a catcher, that's got to be tough to catch. He said Vasquez has not caught him before, and with that big old glove, I mean, you almost become probably cross-eyed after a while.
1-2. And Park strikes out.
Wow.
And that wraps up the 1-2-3 second. LaTroy, great to have you back in Minnesota.
Don't laugh.
I can laugh now. I don't have to try to hit it, or I try to get him out.
Good to see you, man. Thank you.
Tyler Duffy, having retired 5 men in a row, will now face Christian Vasquez, Mookie Betts, and Dustin Pedroia in the 3rd. Another guy adjusting to retired life, Torrey Hunter. Happy to have Torrey in the booth with us. I told you outside the clubhouse, suit up. You can go out there and play.
I could, but every time I walk up the stairs and my butt cheek lock up, it locks up, man. You're like, that's supposed to happen.
Hey, well, you're here to honor David Ortiz, and you had him as a teammate. You had to play against him, unfortunately, too. Here's a ball softly on a line to Byung Ho Park, 1 away. You know, and when he left, it's not like he left a big void. You guys still had a lot of type A personalities in that clubhouse and a lot of really good ball players. But in terms of a teammate, how much did you miss David once he left?
I miss him, man. And I always tried to, I wanted to play with him. Even when I left for that hiatus, that 7-year hiatus, I actually still wanted to play with David Ortiz, and he's one of my favorite teammates of all time. And I had a lot of them, even in the minor leagues. He's one of my favorites, and just. David had this great personality, this great spirit about him, and he would crack jokes in the clubhouse. And
anybody laugh?
Everybody laughs. I mean, the things that he had that Spanish, English, broken language, and he would say some things that like he grabbed his feet and said, "My finger hurt." And so he was very funny, man, and we loved him. He's a great teammate, great hitter.
Fly to the gap in right center. Kepler making a catch about where he caught Shaw's fly ball in the second.
Now Corey Koski talked a little bit about the peanut butter that you guys presented him before the ball game. And a lot of the viewers aren't here. They tell the story about the peanut butter with David Ortiz and Corey Koski.
Well, David Ortiz, he actually was joking around with Corey Koski earlier that day, and Koski came out of the game early, like the 7th inning, and so he went upstairs and put peanut butter in David Ortiz's tighty whities, and he put a big chunk of Skippies in his underwear, and so everybody knew about the joke. So David takes a shower, and he goes and put his underwear on, and we was like, oh, he's gonna feel it. No, he didn't. He put his pants on, his shirt, jacket, and put his shoes on, and he said, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. So he took about 10 steps, and he got to the door. And once he got to the door, he paused, and we was like, "Oh, here it comes." And he said, "What you guys do to me or whatever?" And then, we were all on the ground laughing, and he had to go take another shower. And so I was trying to figure out why. Why do you have peanut butter in your underwear, but you never felt it? Are you used to having something in your drawers? So, and David, man, he's upset. You don't never want to make David mad, because actually he got Koski the next day and froze all his clothes, like put it in the freezer and it was all stiff. So so Koski had to go home in his twin shorts.
You got to be able to take it and give it.
Yeah.
Another 1-2-3 inning for Duffy, and we'll have more with Torrey Hunter when we come back. Fly to left field. Gone, a home run for Hunter. Liner to right, and Hunter with a diving catch in right. Hunter digging for second, and Hunter fires to second, and they get the force. Another fastball drilled to left. Gone, a 3-run home run for Torrey Hunter.
Brings back good memories, doesn't it, Torrey?
It does, man. I want to suit up. No?
Yeah.
All right,
it sure appears, it sure appeared that you really enjoyed your comeback year with the Twins last year.
I did, man. I had a good time, and just to come back and play in Target Field after seeing all the plans for so many years and fighting to get that thing approved.
The liner to right,
man,
that's going to burn
nice piece of
bats.
hitting.
Kepler will go to second. He's got the first Twins hit, and it's a double.
That guy's an athlete, man.
So that's what I mean. Ignorance is bliss, right? They don't have a knuckleball in South Korea, and Park swung through 2 of them. If they don't have one in South Korea, they don't have one in Germany either.
Well, watch the location of this knuckler, though. It kind of stays right there. Torrey, you faced knuckleballers.
Yes.
Who was probably the toughest? Wakefield.
Wakefield was probably I think Sparks. I remember Steve Sparks with Detroit. You know, I thought he was tough because he could throw, like, he keeps a knuckleball and it looks like a fastball. It acts like a fastball, but Wakefield, his was a little slow. It danced and you can see it. And I think I hit like 380 against that guy. I don't know, 350, and so it was. Hey, way to get him over with a knuckleball. How about that?
That's not the easiest thing to do, is it?
Yeah. Small victories, celebrate them. That's something to celebrate right there.
And that's what we talk about, those little things. There should be everybody up on the bench right there giving them high five.
Yeah, and
those are the little things that help win a ball game.
They are. I mean, that right there is, if they score this run, he should get an RBI, at least a half of one.
Got a pitch up and in, it looked like, but was able to push it to the right side, just to the right of the mound. And now Buxton will try to get the runner in. The infield is back up the middle and in on the corners. Swing and a miss.
If it's high, let it fly, young buck.
I know you've kept in contact with Byron, and I can look at the early stages of his career, and with very little imagination, think back to the early stages of your career when you had to go back and forth a little bit too.
Yeah, we did, man. You know what? In those things, you learn a lot. You know, once you have a little failure, it kind of weeds out the weak. I always say that all the time. The strong always fight and get back, and the key is to fight and stay. And I think him coming back, you see the difference in him. He's a little more aggressive. He's not really.
Oh boy, those are nasty though.
What can you do with that?
Yep, Wright picking up the second strikeout, a big strikeout with Kepler at third and 1 out. They're expecting this thing to go down, but then it kind of breaks a little bit right at the last second.
He's also clocked at 80 miles per hour. That's the fastest knuckleball he can throw.
Well, guys put slick stuff on their necks, and they rub their neck and they put it on the ball, and when they throw it, it acts like that. That's cheating. Knuckleballs are cheating.
It is cheating.
It is. Huh?
We should take him out of the game right now.
See, Bert, you threw the ball right.
I did.
Right?
Yes.
With spin.
With spin. A good curveball, you know, you cheated on that, but no big deal.
That little pine tar, what the heck? Used it in your bat, didn't you?
You can't agree to that.
Oh, yeah, I used it.
Plus, what are they going to do to him now? He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. They're going to take that away from me.
I guess you put pine tar in your. I want you to have that.
Not a lot.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Popped up.
Man, sack fly too late.
And backpedaling is Bogarts. Bradley coming in, and it's Bradley with a catch. And the Twins leave Kepler at third after the leadoff double. Always great to see you, my friend.
Thank you guys, man. Thanks for having me.
Torrey
I've been watching.
Here to honor David Ortiz, who will hit in the 4th inning for Boston. And a couple of familiar names and faces will not be with the Twins for a little while. Phil Hughes, who got smoked in the left knee by a line drive last night, part of our Sanford Health injury report. Trevor May also on the disabled list with continuing issues with his lower back.
Yeah, I talked to both these guys. I went into the training room where Phil Hughes was getting worked on, and I tell you what, that ball got him good. And then Trevor May, of course, he's had a history of back issues that just flared up again, and hopefully the time off will get him back going again.
Kyle Gibson activated. He'll make the start tomorrow. And also one of the promising young power arms in the Twin system, JT Chagua, was on his way here, and some issues flight wise to get him here. They didn't know if he'd be here by first pitch or not, but a hard throwing right-handed reliever will be added to the roster whenever he gets here. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Well, Tyler Duffy settling down nicely after giving back-to-back a double and an infield single in the first inning. He's retired 8 straight. Boston Red Sox. Bogart's got that infield base hit in the first.
A little bit low, and it's 2-1. And a liner to left. Bogarts has his second hit. Leadoff single here on the 4th. And that'll bring up David Ortiz. Tonight's timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. May 6, 1998. David Ortiz at Fenway Park, of all places, driving in Paul Molitor from third base with a sacrifice fly. See Pat Mears in the foreground there. It was that era. And Big Papi, or the Big O, he was known primarily as the Big O here in Minnesota. Standing in with a man at first and nobody out. Off the glove of Duffy, and he'll flip to get the out, but another opportunity for the Twins in an Ortiz at bat to maybe get a double play, and they'll only get one out.
As a pitcher, your reaction is to go get that ball, and the ball looked like it caromed off the top of his glove, and then Duffy got the out at first, but Bogarts moves to second.
So last season a player had 100 extra base hits. It's our carsoup.com trivia question, and I can't answer it, but I think the player who did it was Albert Bell, but we'll see. One down, a runner at second, and now Hanley Ramirez. He bounced out to Plouffe. A hot 2-hopper turned into the third out of the first inning.
Well, you would think Barry Bonds' name would be in there too.
Yeah. Fastball over the inside corner. So far so good. Duffy seems to have better command of his fastball. He's gotten ahead of a lot of hitters. 0-1.
Well, you know what, when you have a good curveball, and he'll throw it a lot, but you have to establish something else, and that's why I said at the beginning of the show, establish that fastball. He does have some good movement on that fastball. He'll throw the 2-seamer, the 4-seamer. 2-seamer will have a little sink to it, mix in the changeup. But also what he does change up on his curveball. He'll throw a hard one and a slower one.
1-1. Now a chopper. Plouffe cuts it off. Runner cuts in front of him, and Park dropped the ball. An on-target throw, and Park didn't catch it. First and third, only one away.
That should be an error on Park. That's his first of the year, and the first time a first baseman made an error this year. Joe Mauer does not have an error. And Trevor making sure he gets that ball over. And Park on the other side. With the heel of the glove and bounced out.
Duffy's been getting the ball hit on the ground, and now he needs another ground ball here off the bat of Bradley to maybe get out of the inning on one pitch. First and third, one away. cannot give the Red Sox extra outs.
That's a good throw. It's right here. It just, I don't know if Park took his eye off the ball for a split second. It went in and came out.
1-0 now to Bradley. Popped up, backing out of play. In Duffy's last 4 starts, he's pitched a total of 22 and 2/3 innings and given up 20 earned runs. And in his last start, very uncharacteristically, 3 home runs. He's among the league's best, or has been, in keeping the ball in the ballpark. 1-1 to Jackie Bradley Jr. Now 2 strikes. And a ball.
And Duffy been able to pick up some strikeouts too. 44 strikeouts in 47 innings coming into this ball game. He has 1 already.
40 strikeouts for Bradley in 198 at bats. And his strikeout pitch has typically been that breaking ball.
The hard breaking ball down underneath the swing of those left-handed hitters, down and in.
Like that, and he got a piece of it.
Just got a piece of it.
July 1st is University of North Dakota night here at Target Field. A limited number of UND theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and green and white Twins cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/UND or call 800-33-TWINS. Big at bat here in the 4th inning. The Red Sox are threatening.
Looks like a fastball in. Got to get it in there. And it was up and in. Bradley in his 4th season with the Red Sox. Last year played in 74 ball games, hit .250. Just getting better and better with more at bats.
Breaking ball, foul tip, got him 2 down.
A big strikeout right there for Duffy. Picks up his 2nd strikeout. Wasn't where he wanted it, but it had some good tight spin on it. It stayed up. Bradley may have got a little piece of it, but the ball went right back into the glove of Suzuki.
Now Travis Shaw.
Shaw has some power. I was watching him take batting practice. He is the son of former major league pitcher Jeff Shaw, who pitched 12 years in the big leagues. Saved 203 games.
Getting a chance to play because Pablo Sandoval's season and maybe even his career very much in jeopardy with a left shoulder issue. Up and in, ball 1. That's that 90-mile-per-hour. I think it's fair to call it a cutter. It's got a little run to it at the very end.
That's almost the pitch that struck out Betts to open up the ball game. That has a little bit of a run to it.
1-0.
You want to make sure if you're going to go inside, you want to make sure it's in there, and if you miss, you miss inside.
Well, he's done that twice now, and it's 2-0.
Travis Shaw, good size individual, 6'4", about 225, signed by the Red Sox in 2011 out of Kent State. Kent, Ohio.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. At times it seems Duffy has better control of the breaking ball that get me over curve for a strike than his fastball.
Well, a lot of times in that right there, I'm sure Shaw looking fastball, and you're able to drop that curveball over. Suzuki again going, it looks like inside.
Popped up, backing out of play, 2-2. Duffy trying to wrap up business here, trying to keep the Red Sox off the board in the 4th. In the neighborhood of 60 pitches, which would be good.
Yeah, Shaw struck out about once every 4 at-bats, 62 times in 223 at-bats. See if he'll chase that breaking ball down and in. Open stance for Shaw.
Dribbled up the right side, and Park. Fields goes to the bag. And Duffy had a little bit of adversity in the 4th inning, but it's another scoreless frame. Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. A hot, steamy Saturday Friday night here at Target Field. And no score, with Robbie Grossman leading off the fourth for the Twins. Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe will follow.
Yeah, Wright has one walk. That was Grossman in the first inning.
And he takes up high. Grossman, of course, prior to playing for the Twins, was a major leaguer with the Houston Astros. And when they would run into a knuckleballer like R.A. Dickey in interleague play, the ball hit hard to center field and a base hit. Grossman with a walk and a single. He told me the other day he thinks he handles knuckleballs pretty well, and we'll develop the story here in just a moment. You can follow Twins baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Customize at-bat to feature the Twins and stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Well, that knuckleball right there by Wright that Grossman hit was stayed up. It never came down. So good swing by Grossman. Continues to hit.
Mauer with a double play grounder his first time up, and he takes ball one. Anyway, when Grossman was with Houston, on those rare occasions when they would face a knuckleballer, they would dip into the broadcast booth. Steve Sparks, who Torrey mentioned, now a broadcaster with the Astros, was a knuckleballer in his day, and he would come down to the field and throw knuckleballs to the Houston batters to prepare them for the R.A. Dickeys of the world. And I would imagine there's a decent chance the Red Sox will send Wright out to the mound against the Astros too this year, and Steve Sparks will, get in uniform and get out there and throw some more knuckleballs. 1-0 to Mauer.
Now let me ask you, what if he goes out there and shuts down the Astros offense? You think they may just say, hey, you want to start for us?
I've told you the story. Tommy John, who we all worked with for 1 year, and I worked with Tommy for a couple of years. Tom Kelly recruited him to come out and pitch batting practice to some of the guys for early BP, kind of, get them some extra work. Tommy was more than willing to do that. There's a called strike. In the part that I saw, Tommy John told Shane Mack, all right, double play grounder to short. Sure enough, Shane. And here's a guy who'd been retired for 10 years, and he was still able to call his shots. I don't know that did much for Shane's confidence. 2-1 to Mauer, and Grossman checked it first. Twins had a leadoff double in the third, didn't score. Now we'll see what they can do with the leadoff single.
Yeah, again, with the knuckleballer, you think, you might be able to steal a base. There's been 4 attempts against him so far right on the mound. There's only 2 successful. He's had 10 double plays turned behind him.
And that floats inside, 3-1.
And that includes Mauer's double play in the first inning.
And this is where you're right, and you need to throw a strike here. You don't want to advance Grossman into scoring position, and if all you've got is an 80-mile-per-hour fastball, you really need to be careful with it here. There's a strike, and Grossman's thrown out. Grossman off with the pitch, and
that's the second time that Grossman has tried to steal a base, and both times it might be a hit and run. I don't know. This is a 3-1 pitch. Joe takes it. The box track says it's a bit outside, but Jim Wolf is in charge behind the plate.
That was a straight steal, but it looked like Grossman kind of pulled up a little bit toward the end. Box track was presented by Ram. So now it's 3-2 to Mauer. It's hit to left center, and Bradley runs over to the gap to make the catch, 2 away. And we'll bring up Plouffe. Two down, and that'll bring up Plouffe, who hit a pop-up to Ramirez at first base. Ball one. See Vasquez trying to bring his catcher's mitt in over the outside corner of the plate a number of times when catching the knuckler outside. And now 2-0.
For someone that has not caught a knuckleballer before, he's doing a pretty good job. Vasquez.
And to run back to the backstop very often.
Bob Uecker been back there a dozen times already.
That was his comment about how to catch the knuckleball. It's easy. Wait till it stops rolling. 3-0 to Plouffe. See if he's green lighted here with Dozier on deck. And he is getting a fastball and lacing it to left field. Second hit of the inning, and the out in the field on a ball in play was hit pretty hard off the bat of Mauer, and that'll bring up Dozier.
Well, 3-0 fastball, outer half of the plate. Trevor waiting back nicely, lining it into left field. Twins get their third hit of the ball game.
A lot of members of the 1991 World Championship team here, including Carl Willis, the Train, pitching coach for the Red Sox. Taking a souvenir with him. Pretty valuable setup guy for Rick Aguilera in 1991. Chili Davis, the hitting coach for the Red Sox, of course, on that team. I'll get a chance to talk with Chili tomorrow before the game in an interview setting. And now Dozier bounced to third, his first time up. And the knuckler drops over.
Yeah, actually, Brian, in his only at bat, he got a fastball and hit it sharply to Shaw at third on the first pitch. This time, Wright starts him off with a knuckler.
The end of the bat towards the Twins dugout, 0-2. Pretty calm day, and that really helps a knuckleballer. The last thing a knuckleballer wants is a lot of wind currents blowing the baseball that has no spin on it, or very little spin on it, all over the place. You can see the flags in right field limp. And Dozier lifts it foul out of play.
Yeah, that knuckleball, or a slow curveball right there, they call it, at 62 miles an hour. Wright, 31 years old, a lot of time in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox, making just his 23rd major league start, his 12th here this season.
Ground ball right side. Pedroia has it go under his glove. It'll be a base hit for Dozier. Third hit of the inning.
Boy, you don't see that too often, a ball getting under Pedroia's glove. Four-time Gold Glove winner. Knucklers kind of stayed up a little bit. Dozier trying to hit that hole over there. Ball got past Pedroia. Plouffe stops at second.
And Park will give it another try here. Struck out swinging the first time he's ever seen a knuckleball.
Well, he started him off with a fastball, then two knuckleballs.
I blinked. I missed the hole at bat. On the outside corner, a strike.
Oh, there's a knuckleball right there.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That knuckler right there, you saw the previous one had a little dip to it. That one went pretty straight and stayed up. It's amazing, isn't it?
Got him. And on 3 pitches again, Park is struck out. 3 singles in the inning, but nothing on the board, and we head to the 5th, scoreless.
Twins and the Red Sox as we start the bottom of the 5th inning, and we are in the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle. We have $100 worth of scratch-off tickets for Janet from St. Charles, Minnesota, over near Rochester. It is her 53rd birthday. Look how proud she is of 53. Just throws it right out there. You are enjoying a Twins game on a beautiful summer evening. How's number 53 treating you so far?
Really well. Having a great time at the game. I want to see some hits and some runs.
I think we all want to see it.
Yeah.
You were here on your 40th birthday as well. So this is where you like to spend your birthdays, I guess, with you and the Twins.
Yep, I'm a big fan.
Well, how about a circle from Bert and some lottery tickets for you?
Awesome. Yay!
Yes.
Thank you.
You are hereby
Yay for
circled.
Janet.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And St. Charles about equidistant between Rochester and Winona down in the southeastern part of the state. Some other great towns down there: Rushford, Lanesboro, Preston. Two strikes to Chris Young, the leadoff man here in the 5th inning. Just off the corner. Good pitch.
Good pitch right there. Chris Young in his first season with the Red Sox. Signed as a free agent, a 2-year contract over the winter. Hit outside.
And a swing and a miss. Duffy gets a strikeout.
Good changeup right there. 3rd strikeout for Tyler Duffy. After a good fastball that just missed, he pulled the string. And Wright way out, or excuse me, Young way out front.
It's a pitch that Duffy figures to use more against lefties than righties, but he got a strikeout of Young. And now Christian Vasquez. Red Sox had an off day here in Minnesota. They got in after sunrise yesterday from San Francisco. So you can imagine John Farrell telling Vasquez at some point, maybe even on the plane, hey, Friday, Minnesota, you're catching Stephen Wright for the first time. You talk about ruining a guy's off day. How's he supposed to get a good night's sleep, enjoy a round of golf or whatever Vasquez wants to do on an off day, knowing he's got to catch a knuckleballer for the first time on Friday night? 1-1 to Vasquez. Squibb. Duffy lets Dozier play it. I don't think the ball hit the base, but I think it caused Dozier to take an unusual route to the ball.
It was right off the end of the bat, created almost like a cue ball spin. And that ball, I don't know if it nicked the bag or just over, but a tough play for Dozier to try to get it. You look at this right off the end of the bat, and you can see the spin of the ball. See, I want that ball back. I'm the pitcher. That baby's probably cut up.
It hit off the end of the bat. It was a breaking ball, and then it hit the mound, which added even more speed to it. Second infield hit for the Red Sox, and now Mookie Betts. I mentioned Young was a center fielder earlier in his career. Betts was last year. And now Jackie Bradley Jr. manning center field, and it's a wonderful thing for the Red Sox to have, having essentially 3 center fielders in their outfield. On the outside corner, it's 1-1.
Yeah, all three of them can cover a lot of ground. Very good athletes.
He's got 6 ground ball double plays this year. They had 1 or 2 here tonight. Fouled, and it's 1-2. It's a Red Sox team that has scored, as we said, a lot of runs. Just to put it in perspective, the Red Sox on this year in 59 games have scored 342 runs. In 59 games, the Twins have scored 225. Quick, how much of a difference is that?
A lot. That's just a lot.
Bouncer to third. Plouffe gobbles it up. Out at second, and Dozier drops the ball in the exchange. And I don't know whether they would have gotten a double play.
No, Betts gets down that line pretty quickly right there. Brian tried to hurry his throw, but he is forced out. That being Vasquez at second base. John Farrell, I think, wants to take a look at it. Does Brian have the ball in his glove and then right there in the exchange? So they should call him out.
Yep, there'll be no challenge here. He's out right there with Dozier's foot on the bag and then trying to get the ball over to the throwing hand. The ball dropped. 2 down, a runner at first, and now Pedroia cracked a double off the fence in right center, and the first pitch he saw, extending his hitting streak to 16 games.
That was a nice play by Trevor Plouffe, only because at the last second that ball came up on him a little bit.
On the outside corner, a strike.
Pedroia has had a very solid career. First coming up with the Red Sox back in 2006. Keep an eye on bets. He's 11 for 11 in stolen bases, and the Red Sox have been very, very good at stealing bases. 43 stolen bases on the year. They've been caught only 5 times.
1 strike to Pedroia. Base hit to right. Pedroia going to the opposite field again. Kepler comes up with a throw to Nunez. First and third, 2 down for Xander Bogaerts.
Well, Pedroia, yes, he's got power, but you know what? He's such a good hitter. Came into this year a .299 hitter in his 11th season with the Red Sox. Former American League MVP.
Your best bat flip could be your ticket to the MLB All-Star Game in San Diego. Post a video of your bat flip to Fox Sports with hashtag Fox Bat Flip Contest now through June 26th. Visit foxsports.com/bat-flip contest for more info. Duffy's gotten some big outs here in this ball game. He had to get a big third out in the first. A couple of men aboard with only 1 out in the fourth. He got 2 big outs, and now here's another one waiting for him in the 5th. Fastball down the middle, a strike. Bogaerts is 2 for 2, an infield hit and an outfield hit.
Again, this is where good teams complement each other with, you know, Bogaerts up. Yes, he's having a great year, but who's on deck? David Ortiz. So you want to make the out right here if possible. You don't want to face Ortiz.
Deep to left center field, and that ball is crushed to the bullpen. 3-0. And Duffy got a big out in the first, 2 of them in the fourth. Unable to get the big out here in the 5th.
Well, he went with a fastball in to get strike 1. I believe they wanted to go back in again, but he left it out over the plate. Bogaerts opened up quickly, hits his 7th home run. So you see where Suzuki is. Look at the location of the pitch. Came right back over the heart of the plate. Bogaerts hitting it into the bullpen area. And it's a 3-0 Red Sox lead. It's the 8th home run that Duffy has allowed. This is his 9th start.
And now Ortiz with the bases empty and 2 away. Foul back. That was one of the things that was really encouraging about Duffy last year. He made 10 starts, 58 innings, and he gave up 2 home runs in his first start in the first 2 innings in Toronto. Then he only gave up 2 more home runs the rest of his season at the big league level, and only 1 in the minor leagues. Foul back. Ortiz would like to have that pitch back. And now this year, particularly lately, he's given up a lot of gopher balls. Two strikes to Ortiz.
Well, home runs are part of the game. It's just the 3-run home runs and the grand slams. That's what hurts you.
Buxton to the gap, diving try, can't come up with it. And Ortiz will have at least 2 here, and he'll just glide into second. In fact, he'll walk into second with a double.
He hit that ball so hard that it looked like it was right at straightaway center, and it almost went toward left center. Breaking ball, Ortiz. Now watch Buxton right here. Look at the flight of the ball. It just kept drifting away from him. He comes up short. And it's a 2-out double. for Ortiz. That's his 27th double of the year.
Eric Rasmussen to the mound to try to settle down Tyler Duffy and get him through this 5th inning.
Well, you would think, you know, when your center fielder drops like that, you know, you're thinking, oh, inside the park home run. Go, David, go. I can't get the 3rd. So the 27 doubles, that leads the American League in doubles.
He has said one of the reasons he committed to retiring, he's just got leg issues that make it very difficult for him to get some treatment on his legs before every game. Here's Hanley Ramirez. And a breaking ball on the outside corner. Ramirez reached on a Park error in the 4th, hit a ground ball to Plouffe, but Park didn't catch the throw. Plouffe did throw him out in the 1st inning. 1-1.
Well, these are the innings that have really hurt the starting staff, not only Tyler Duffy, but all the starters. It's the multi-run innings. Santana in yesterday's ball game struggled in that 7th inning where the Marlins were able to score 7 runs.
2-1. Duffy got the first out, and then that infield hit for Vasquez. Ball spun off the end of the bat right over the second base bag. And it just seems like Duffy's really, as he tires, falling off more and more toward the first base side. And his pitch is being pulled off the outside corner. 3-1. Breaking ball, he didn't mean to. 3-2.
Well, this I've talked about, Dick. You need to get your 2nd wind or your 3rd wind, whatever it is, to go deeper into the ball game. Starters for the Twins averaging again only 5 1/3 innings so far throughout all their 58-9 first games. That's not enough innings pitched by the starting staff.
Bouncer to short. And Nunez over to Park. A 3-run home run by Xander Bogaerts, his 7th home run of the year. The Red Sox take the first lead. Pepsi fans of the game enjoying a sultry night here at Target Field. And and most of them not enjoying the score right now. 3-0 Boston. And Max Kepler will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. First ball hitting, grounding to second. Easy play for Pedroia. Kepler doubled leading off the 3rd, and he grounds out leading off the 5th. That'll bring up Suzuki. The Twins Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose your games and your number of seats. Choose in advance or even the day of the game. Plan Flex Plan. Go to twinsbaseball.com/flex or call 800-33-TWINS to learn more.
Yeah, Stephen Wright doing a good job. This will be pitch number 50, trying to get 2 outs here, the second out here in the 5th inning. A very good pitch count. 35 strikes of the 49 thrown.
In the 3rd, Kepler doubled and Suzuki hacked a ground ball to the right side on a pitch not unlike the one he just took for strike 1. Pitch up and in, and he pushed it to the right side to Pedroia. Advanced Kepler to 3rd, but then Buxton struck out and Nunez popped up. One and one. And in his last 3 road starts, Wright has pitched complete games, 2 of them 9-inning wins. It's invaluable in this day and age when teams are carrying most of them 13 pitchers, and to get any off day for the entire relief corps is just like the scheduled off day. Everybody gets to rest and a chance to recover with whatever happened in the 3 or 4 days prior.
You know, and you look at Wright on a warm night, not even sweating. It's, you know, I remember I pitched against Phil Niekro in Atlanta during the summer, and it was hot. And, you know, I'm sweating out there, and I look, you know, my mound opponent was Phil Niekro. His hair was still nice, you know. Wasn't even sweating.
Suzuki got a pitch up, lined it to left for a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Buxton.
The Twins get their 5th hit of the ball game.
Buxton tried to hit the knuckleball in the 3rd and struck out. You wonder whether here he might not try to bunt the knuckleball, and I'm not sure which would be more difficult.
I'd have to say to try to bunt it. I had to try to bunt against Niekro one time. It wasn't fun.
And he takes up high, ball 1.
Yeah, the only thing you think now with, you know, ball 1 being high, maybe he might come in with that fastball. Might be an opportunity maybe to bunt it, but Shaw at 3rd base about even with the bag. And there is a fastball.
And Buxton got under a fly ball to center, playable for Bradley. 2 down. We'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. Time now for tonight's Lowe's home field advantage. Eduardo Nunez, and the last 8 games here, raking. Look at the home runs, 5 of them in his last 8 games here.
Well, he came into the ball game 5th in the American League in hitting at .332. For 2 here tonight.
Nunez with a comebacker to the mound and a fly ball to center. That's a base hit to right. And Suzuki will hold at second base.
That's good hitting right there by Nunez. You know, he's a guy that uses the whole field. Yes, he's hit some long balls, but it's almost like he waited for the last second just to hit the ball the other way. Watch him. Watch the eyes. Okay. Stayed up, just took it between that hole over at first base. Good piece of hitting.
Grossman, who's reached twice against Wright. He walked in the 1st, led off the 4th with a single, and then was thrown out trying to steal. Red Sox got a 2-out 3-run homer in their half of the inning. Now Grossman takes ball 1. Check swing, but a called strike. 1-0.
73-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
One and two.
Probably a harder knuckleball speed-wise. Yeah, at 76.
I would guess one of the things you have to do to have any hope against a pitch like this or a pitcher like this is don't get frustrated. Grossman put a good swing on a pitch. The ball just wasn't where he was swinging. You've got to keep the same approach for your next swing. Throw to second. There was nobody there. Bogarts with a diving catch.
Yeah, I don't know if the daylight play was on. Maybe Bogarts. Take a look right here. Bogarts. No, nothing was on. Wright just turned and threw, and Bogarts, who was playing up the middle, it's a nice catch to keep it in the infield.
And now 3-2 with Mauer on deck. Only been one walk, and it was issued to Grossman in the first inning. Runners go. Foul tip, and catcher Vasquez can't hang on.
We imagine you saw, Nunez wait back and then try to explode toward the ball. And same thing for Grossman right there. Just got a piece of it, fouled it off. And that's what you're talking about, Dick. You can't be over anxious. You got to let the ball come to you. But when it's knuckling, it's not easy to hit.
Inside, ball 4, and they're loaded for Mauer.
Well, second time Grossman has taken a walk. Now Twins need a big hit right here by Joe Mauer.
Carl Willis, who never threw a knuckleball, is going to come out to the mound and talk some sense to Stephen Wright. Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Wild are celebrating hockey this summer at the Minnesota Wild Summer Bash, an NHL entry draft viewing party Friday, June 24th, 6 to 9 p.m. at XL Energy Center. It's free. It's the biggest hockey bash of the summer with interactive games, photos, and autograph opportunities from Wild players, NHL alumni, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. And, of course, the sad hockey news today. Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, passing away today at the age of 88. Mauer with a ground ball double play in the first, then he lined out to Bradley in center field in the fourth. The bases are loaded with 2 out. And Joe tried to hit one in on the plaza area. Got a pitch up, and he fouled it in and out of the mid of Vasquez. 1 strike.
Well, the knuckleball. It started toward Joe and then broke back toward the catcher. Trying to hit a butterfly.
1 strike. And that one came in on the handle of his bat. 2 strikes. We've talked about this every time we've done a broadcast with a knuckleballer on the mound. I always thought Harmon Killebrew had the best idea. He stood at the plate, and of course, the knuckleballers of his era, Hoyt Wilhelm, Wilbur Wood, he said he just looked for 2 seams and aimed between them. Worked for Harmon. 0-2 to Mauer. Another one that seemed to cut inside off the plate.
Yeah, throwing it a little bit harder. Those last couple at 80 miles an hour. The ones that Grossman were 73 to 76 miles an hour. Not much difference, but just a harder knuckleball. A faster knuckleball, I guess. This will be pitch number 20 in the inning for Wright.
And a very slow knuckleball nubbed back to the mound, and the Twins leave the bases full in the fifth. Team getting a big 2-out hit with men on base, and the non-contending team not getting the big hit. The Twins are now 0 for 19 with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Not good.
Jackie Bradley Jr. will lead off the 6th for Boston, and then Travis Shaw and Chris Young. Clips the inside corner. Bradley doesn't agree. You look at Bradley's numbers, and he was on the verge of being considered a failed prospect for the Red Sox. There's a deep drive to right field, and it will hit off the wall. Kepler will fire to second base. It is a stand-up double to start the 6th inning. Bradley showing the Red Sox showing faith in Bradley, and now he's starting to pay that faith off.
He's a guy that, you know, kind of went up and down the last 2-3 years.
Carsoup.com trivia question. I believe the last season a player, whenever it was, that Albert Bell did it. Bonds, Helton, Sosa, Gonzalez. Okay.
I mentioned Bonds.
Yep.
Ding, 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 ding.
Missing, down and in, ball 1. Bradley, in his first exposure to the big leagues, hit 189. In his second exposure to the big leagues, 384 at bats, and he hit 198. He's leading off at second base with a batting average of 316 right now.
Like I said, he's up and down. Last year alone, he went up and down 3 times between AAA and the Red Sox. This year, it's a different story.
With John Farrell, I said, what's the difference? He said, well, he's more aggressive, and I think we just saw that. He fell behind 0-1. Didn't want to get any further behind in the count. We drilled a pitch off the fence in right. But then Farrell said too that Bradley, and this is something that Twins fans should keep in mind, and the players who've gone back and forth need to think about as well. 2-0, and now 3-0. Bradley went to a lower level, in this case Pawtucket, last year, and excelled. He hit over 300 last year. Hit 9 home runs in about half a season down at AAA, and so he built up his confidence that he could succeed at the next level, having conquered, if you will, AAA. There's a strike, and as the Twins are hoping Byron Buxton will do the same thing, it's a necessary step for most players. Torrey Hunter was here, and he had to go back to AAA a number of times before he finally became a fixture at the big league level. Kepler too. Now the Twins try to pick off at second. Getting back is Bradley. Bradley last year hit .249, a step in the right direction. 221 big league at bats. Kevin Jepson warming up earlier than we've normally seen him. This one lined to center, and Bradley will be held at third. Buxton with a quick flip to the cutoff man Plouffe. First and third, nobody out.
Well, Duffy started to lose at last inning, and he's kind of taking it into this inning. Falling behind. Bradley hit a breaking ball that stayed up into that right field corner. Falling behind on a 3-1 pitch. Shaw goes down and hits it softly into center field. And Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, holding Bradley up there. So Shaw picking up his first hit.
Chris Young will bat
for the Red Sox, their ninth.
Young, a bouncer to third and a strikeout against Tyler Duffy. Twins infield a double play depth. They'll give up one more run to get 2 outs. There's a liner to Plouffe, and he looks around, nowhere to go with it. One away.
Oh, Young hit it solid, but right at Trevor Plouffe for the first out.
And now Vasquez, who hit that ball off the end of the bat and set up the Red Sox for Bogart's 3-run home run. Down and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Vasquez missed a whole season last year. In early April, he had the Tommy John surgery. Started this year on a disabled list, still recovering from the surgery, and activated by the Red Sox on April 15th.
Grounder. And Plouffe deflects it wide of Nunez. A run will score. Don't know what Nunez would have been able to do with that ball, but Plouffe just got the tip of his glove on it and deflected it into left field.
And Vasquez gets his second hit, driving in his 9th run. Ball hit right in the right spot. Trevor going for it, and just off the tip of his glove that deflects it past Nunez into left field.
Tyler Duffy will work his way through the Boston lineup 3 times, and then that's it. They've touched him for 4 runs here in the last 2 innings. And he's responsible for 2 more runners on base.
And another short outing for a Twin starter.
Byung-Ho's balcony is back on July 5th. You can make your way to Target Field. Show your support for Byung-Ho Park. Fans purchasing the special Byung-Ho's balcony theme night package will receive a game ticket in the deck plus a limited edition Park Bang t-shirt. Go to twinsbaseball.com/park to learn more about the Byung-Ho's balcony theme night offer. The Red Sox lead at 4-0. Kevin Jepson has been taken out of the closer's role. They're now trying to get some big outs to help keep the Twins in this ball game in the 6th inning.
Yeah, you can see the high earned run average at 6.17 for Jepson. This is his 26th relief appearance. He has 7 of the 8 saves, but really struggling making his 26th appearance. He last worked on Tuesday against the Marlins. Just a third of an inning. He gave up a base hit, and then they took him out of the ball game. Twins ended up winning that ball game in 11, 6-4.
Twins gave up 10 or more hits in all 3 games of the Miami series, and now the Red Sox already have 10, only 1 out in the 6th. And a first pitch strike.
Well, they're facing 2 teams. Miami came in hitting a 266 as a ball club. You look at Boston, they're hitting 290 as a ball club. So this pitching staff that has been struggling, facing the Marlins for 3 games and now the Red Sox for 3.
1-1.
Jepson saying that he feels like he's real close to getting back to where he feels good, but it's the breaking ball that has really given him problems, the inconsistency, and then also the location of the fastball.
Popped up right side. Infield fly rule should be called. And Adrian Johnson just called it. 2 away. And now Dustin Pedroia.
I myself would like to see Kevin throw that 2-seam fastball a little bit more, mix in the changeup a little bit. He's having trouble with that breaking ball. The inconsistency. We've seen so many breaking balls land in front of the plate. You have to make the adjustment, and Jepson's at that stage of his career. He needs to start making adjustments. You just can't get away with a good 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's a good breaking ball there.
Right in a good spot, got a called strike with it. Right field, and Kepler back, playing a carom. A run will score, and the throw going to second base. And Pedroia with his 2nd opposite field double, his 3rd opposite field hit.
All 3 of the hits for Pedroia. Waits back nicely, and you can see the power that Pedroia can generate, hitting it high off the wall. Pedroia, they list him at 5'9", about 175, but very powerful swing.
Like Suzuki got crossed up there.
And Kepler, knowing that he's got to play the carom, does, but it's another double.
Watch Suzuki behind the plate and how he reacts.
He's looking for a fastball right here. Yep, definitely a cross-up.
3 in the 2nd, 2 so far here in the 6th. All 5 runs charged to Duffy. And now Bogarts is 3 for 3 with a 3-run home run. And Jepson sticks a fastball on the outside corner. Look at those numbers, hitting nearly 400 with runners in scoring position. 87 hits, 3 of them tonight. Nice scoop by Suzuki.
And again, Bogart's only 23 years old. He won't be 24 until October 1st. Signed by the Red Sox as a free agent back in 2009 out of Aruba. Fourth
hit of the game. And it'll score 1. And Tyler Duffy's log is complete. 6 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings after 4 shutout innings. So what's happened to him is pretty much what happened to Ricky Nolasco the other night, or Irvin Santana last night.
Right. Trevor May came in and gave up all his runs, and right here Jepson giving up the 2 runs that were left on base for Tyler Duffy.
A dozen hits for the Red Sox. 2 away, and David Ortiz. A slicing line drive to the left center field gap, just out of the reach of a diving Byron Buxton for a double. Fastball at the belt, a strike.
David Ortiz against Jepson over their meetings. 3 hits and 10 at bats, a double. Kevin's been able to strike him out a couple times.
High fly to right. Kepler back short of the track. That ends it, but the Red Sox back up a 3-run 5th with a 3-run 6th. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. What's yours? Red Sox pulling away now 6-0 going to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the bad news for the Twins hitters, they've still got Stephen Wright to deal with out there.
Yeah, 68 pitches for Wright after 5 innings, 47 strikes, a couple walks, 3 strikeouts. He has given up 6 hits.
Twins have had some chances against him. Kepler led off the 3rd with a double. They didn't score. Twins filled the bases in the 5th, but it's the worst possible scenario for a Twins run scoring these days. And now Plouffe. Strike 1. Middle of the Twins lineup, Plouffe, Dozier, and Park. Some right-handed power lined up to face Stephen Wright. Back to the pitcher. 1 down. And now Dozier. Dozier skipped a single under the glove of Pedroia in the 4th inning. Twins with 6 hits through 5 innings. They've taken a couple of walks. Down and away, ball one. I think anybody who's picked up a baseball for any length of time at all has experimented in throwing a knuckleball, and it's actually a misnomer. Of course, it's more of a fingertip ball than a knuckleball. A strike called, 1-1. He must have spent some time with Joe Niekro when he came over to the Twins in '87, asking him about the pitch and watching how he threw it.
Well, I got a funny story about that because we're playing catch one time at the Metrodome, and we're just kind of throwing fastballs to each other, and without telling him, I threw him a curveball, and he kind of went down and got it, and then he threw me a knuckleball and it hit me right in the knee. I said, we're done.
Over to the right side, this one hit right at Pedroia, 2 down.
I said, thank you for playing catch with me. I'm done playing catch with you.
And that'll bring up Young home park.
They make that ball dance. You know, Wright in his 3 previous complete games on the road, back against the Yankees, he threw 101 pitches. Against Kansas City and KC, hit 101, and then his last complete game in Baltimore, he threw 122 pitches.
And could brush his teeth the next day.
Yeah.
Strike one.
That's the most pitches he's thrown in a ball game, but he's, you know, averaging probably 108 to 115 pitches every time out. Even though they have David Price, they say Wright is the one that has really kind of held this starting staff together. Like a lot of knucklers, it takes them a while to get to the big leagues. It took Wakefield, who was an infielder at one time, took him a while to develop that knuckleball, have enough confidence to throw it on a consistent basis to the big leagues.
R.A. Dickey was a conventional pitcher, and then Oral Hershiser, when he was pitching coach in the Texas organization, suggested to Dickey, look, you know, your fastball's 85 miles per hour. That's not going to get it done. And so they reprogrammed him, and a couple years later he reemerged as a knuckleball.
Charlie Huff was that way. Tom Candiotti was that way. Think about Tom Candiotti.
There was an issue, at third base with Travis Shaw. I don't know if he was getting a little lightheaded over there or what was going on. John Farrell checking with him. It is a very muggy night.
Maybe something flew in his eye.
Pitch is up. And now 3-2.
Something flew in his eye. He's still kind of rubbing that right eye.
Kepler on deck. Park has struck out swinging twice. And a foul back on a fastball.
I was mentioning Tom Candiotti. He was a guy that had a good knuckleball, but he also mixed in a fastball and then that big slow curveball.
And a called third strike. And Park probably quite happy that he won't be seeing a knuckleballer again for a while.
You know, we had a pitcher's duel the first 4 innings between Duffy and Wright. Wright picking up 4 strikeouts so far, 3 of them against Park. But in the 5th inning, with a couple runners on, Bogarts with a 3-run home run. That made it a 3-0 lead. And then in the 6th inning, 5 hits for the Red Sox, chasing Duffy away from the ball game. And they added 3 more runs. Pedroia with an RBI double. It's a big night. Bogarts, 4 hits. He's driven in 4 runs.
7 men batted in the 5th, 8 men batted in the 6th, and now in the 7th, Hanley Ramirez will lead things off against Kevin Jepson. And it looks as if one of the strategies here to
stretch him out.
Yeah, get Kevin Jepson out there and let him face a bunch of hitters until he starts getting into some kind of a groove. He gave up an RBI double and an RBI single. And then the 2 outs in the 6th inning. Fastball's up 2-0.
And again, that's an issue for Kevin Jepson. That high fastball, he gets underneath that fastball consistently. Just cannot create that downward plane. When he does, it's a great pitch, but so many times he gets that palm out in front of the ball rather than a ball on top. That's a good fastball right there.
Just missed the corner, though. It's 3-0.
But a better angle. Now this one, he's on top of the ball. He drives it toward the outer half of the plate. Just missing.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. And a 4-pitch walk to Ramirez starts the 7th.
Duffy did not walk a batter in his 5 1/3 innings, so first walk.
Twins fans, the 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. You can head to twinsbaseball.com, choose your hashtag ASG worthy stars, and send them to the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 12th in San Diego. Joe Mauer, the only realistic Twins name on the ballot. You can vote today, vote tomorrow, and vote at twinsbaseball.com/vote. Only because Eduardo Nunez is not on the ballot. But there is a vote-in campaign here at Target Field. I signed one today. I saw you signed it as well. 1 strike to Bradley. Fouled away, 2 strikes. This is one that was hung in the Twins clubhouse.
Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dozier.
You circled your autograph or your sign.
I went to number 28 too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I later signed it as far away from you as I possibly could.
Understandable.
2 strikes to Bradley. Swing and a foul.
A changeup right there.
Yankees beat the Tigers 4-0. Mike Pelfrey gave up 3 runs in the first, and the Yankees behind CC Sabathia shut out the Tigers. Pulled foul. I'll tell you what, unless the Tigers, Royals, and White Sox start figuring something out, Indians are in position to start pulling away a little bit. They're in Los Angeles tonight to take on the Angels. They got Corey Kluber going. The White Sox are leading the Royals. They're really struggling to score runs, and they've lost 7 games in a row. The Royals have. 2 strikes again to Bradley. And fouled away.
Again, it's a 92, 93 mile-an-hour fastball that doesn't have much movement on it, so you're going to get a lot of foul balls, especially up in the zone. This is where that changeup, a 2-seam fastball.
Been the changeup there. One and 2. Check swing. Did he go? Strike 3, and Bradley is out on strikes.
Yeah, Bradley doesn't think he went too far, but he did, and Jepson picking up his first strikeout. So the hard breaking ball down and in, and Bradley unable to hold up. Barrel of the bat.
Yep.
Too far.
1 down, and now Travis Shaw. Jepson has 7 of the 8 Twins saves, but he hasn't, it seems like, had any easy innings. Everything has been a struggle. Even when he's gotten the saves, if they led by 2, he gave up a run or there were guys on base, and that's kind of what we've seen again here tonight. He gave up a couple of hits to the 4 batters he faced in the 6th. Now a leadoff walk, a long at bat, finally a strikeout of Bradley. And now 2 quick strikes to Travis Shaw.
I'm just looking at his 7 saves, and there's not one save where that was a 1-2-3 inning. It was, you know, against the Angels he had his first 2 saves, but he walked a couple batters in those save opportunities. He created a base runner. No hits.
And those are the successful save opportunities.
Right.
And a quick strikeout of Shaw, 2 down.
And Shaw chasing a fastball up in the zone, and back-to-back strikeouts for Jepson.
And that'll bring up Chris Young. And the Twins bullpen has had a major facelift since the start of the year. Casey Fiend is gone. He's pitching now for the Dodgers. Trevor May put on the disabled list today. Glenn Perkins on the disabled list. Jepson the closer, or was until this past week. Ryan O'Rourke was with the Twins. He's been sent down. Former starters Tommy Milone and Phil Hughes were pitching out of the bullpen. Malone sent down to AAA. Hughes put on the disabled list after taking that line drive off his knee. And a new face, a new name, JT Chagua, is on his way to Target Field here today.
Yeah, J.R. Graham now with the Yankees.
There's another one, yeah. 1-1. Popped up. And Dozier comes in to end the inning. A leadoff walk, no harm done. A scoreless 7th for Kevin Jepson. Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around baseball tonight. And a good night for Nolan Arenado. And Carpenter with a home run, his 10th of the year in Pittsburgh. And how about this? Eric Hosmer, 2 home runs against Chris Sale.
Yeah.
But not much else for the Royals in terms of offense as they trail the White Sox. And Stephen Wright behind the mound. He'll face Max Kepler to start the Twins 7th.
Now, Twins have 6 hits, just 1 extra base hit, that being Kepler's double in the 3rd inning.
Kepler takes outside, ball 1. Cracked a double. The second pitch he saw in the 3rd, then grounded out to Pedroia on the first pitch he saw in the 5th. And that floats over, 1-1. Oh, 65 miles per hour, and it floats over for strike 2.
Yeah, Wright, 31 years old, originally signed by the Indians, their number 2 pick back in 2006, and this floater, almost like a Dave LaRoche lob. And strikeout number 5 for Wright.
One down.
Well, after the floater, then one that starts about thigh high. Kepler swings through it. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Kurt Suzuki singled and got as far as 3rd base his last time up. Ball 1. They're so valuable to have, and for most of Wakefield's career with the Red Sox, he'd be used regularly out of the bullpen. If you got into a jam and you needed to give the rest of the bullpen a day off, well, then there's another reason to have a knuckleballer around, because he could come in the 4th inning and take you to the end, and you saved your bullpen that way. Chopped in front of the 3rd baseman Shaw, and firing on the run. He got Suzuki by a step, 2 down.
Yeah, nice play by Shaw as he was playing back behind the 3rd base bag. Has to come charging in. Gets a second out of Suzuki at first.
2 down in the 7th, and now Byron Buxton.
That's one thing defensively too. Boston very solid defensively. We talked about the outfield, also the infield, very solid. They've made only 28 errors. Only the Chicago White Sox have made fewer errors. Well, you look at Wright, you're talking about Wakefield, what they are too. They're innings eaters if they're, on like Wright has been. You got David Price, you have Rick Porcello, you have 3 guys that you're going to depend on, hopefully, to pitch 200+ innings.
1-1 to Buxton.
It's sad to say, but 200+ innings is kind of the mark in today's game. If you can get 3 or 4 guys to do that, you're going to have a pretty good year.
And you used to be there by Labor Day, right?
Well, yeah, it used to be. It's just a different game now.
Buxton takes up 2-1. We talked about this before too, but when Tommy John was doing broadcasts and when we would have knuckleballers, principally Wakefield, I guess, called strike, Tommy thought organizations would be wise to identify one pitcher at every level, and someone who, like R.A. Dickey, wasn't going to throw past 85 miles per hour, and develop them at that level. Up to Buxton, 3-2.
I know I've heard this before, but where are you going to find that individual that wants to spend 2 or 3 or 4 years down at single A or rookie ball and make $500 a month?
If you're only going to throw 85, you're not going to make it to the big leagues anyway. Now Buxton's called out on strikes, and it's a 1-2-3-7.
Fastball that picks up the 6th strikeout for Wright. Wright has retired 7 straight now.
With your Mall of America Studio Sports Update. It's flashback time. We go back 8 years. June 13, 2006. Twins and Red Sox. Jason Kubel with a walk-off grand slam with Michael Kadire, Justin Morneau, and Torrey Hunter aboard in a 5-2 win.
Good times. Look at the names on the jersey there. Tony Batista, Nick Punto, Luis Castillo.
You know, and in the ceremony today for David Ortiz when they gave him the jar of peanut butter, also down there was Ron Gardenhire, too. Good to see Gardy in town.
Yeah, Gardy's looking a little trimmer and looking very content with life now. We're happy for that. Michael Tonkin comes out of the Twins bullpen to pitch to the Red Sox in the 8th.
Yeah, Michael's done a good job out of the bullpen. His 27th relief appearance, only 24 hits allowed in the 29 innings pitched, 9 walks, 33 strikeouts. He has given up 4 home runs.
First pitch strike. I don't think there's any question that as the Twins play out this year with thoughts, of course, of 2017. They're trying to figure out whether players, pitchers that they have are going to be part of the solution next year. And I think the next 4 months, counting June, is very critical for Michael Tonkin in that regard. He's got a great opportunity here in the final 4 months of this year.
Well, that's the pitch right there that has really helped him, I think, this year. Yes, he has an overpowering fastball, but unlike Jepson, he can get this baby over consistently. Good, hard slider. And you saw that what that did to the hitter, Vasquez.
1-2.
Wow.
Just missed the fastball, and we've seen Tonkin zero in on that pitch with 2 strikes. And sometimes he hits it, sometimes he doesn't, but he's in the vicinity, and it's an almost impossible pitch to hit if he can hit that corner. And then he just overpowers him at 95.
Well, he went right back out there after missing. He goes right back out there again with that good 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So Tonkin coming in, getting the first out via the strikeout.
1 down in the 8th, and now Mookie Betts. Down and away with a breaking ball.
Tonkin at 6'7", 26 years old.
There he hit that spot at 95.
He comes at a good angle too. He works off that, first base side of the pitching rubber, pretty much in the middle of that pitching rubber. And he's not straight over the top, more 3/4. So the angle that fastball gets, or breaking ball.
Right. It's a nice mix. 95 down and away. Now breaking ball 85 in the same spot, and it's 1-2. He's got a check swing, strike 3.
That slider looks like a fastball, and it just darts at the end.
Well, but if you're a hitter, you've got to respect the 95, right?
Yep. That's why I think you saw, Mookie Betts right there almost commit to swinging at it, even though it was a foot outside.
Oh,
watch out.
And Tonkin won't be able to recover for the out. Let's see if he's able to stay in the game.
Yeah, he says he's all right. I think he got the hip area. Ball, fastball up, came right back at Michael Tonkin.
Very similar to the line drive that hit Phil Hughes in the knee last night.
Right away, he said he's okay. And thank goodness that ball was up enough that I think, he's kind of showing Dave Krumer where it hit him. Take a look right there. Yeah, you don't realize, when you're a pitcher, it's 60 feet 6 inches to home plate, but once you let that ball go, you're 55, 54 feet away from a guy that wants to hit the ball right back up the middle, and that's what hitters are taught.
Lanning Tucker, one of the trainers for the Twins, is the trainer in the blue pullover there. And Tonkin has talked his way at least into getting a warm-up toss or
Take
two.
another look to see where it did. Yeah, right. I believe on the right hip near the buttocks.
You say that like Forrest Gump.
That's why I learned it. Run, Forrest, run.
Well, Tonkin thankfully appears to be okay.
Betts gets a infield hit. His first of the ball game, and for the Red Sox, their 13th hit.
And that'll bring up Pedroia. 3 opposite field hits, 2 of them doubles. And he got a pitch in the inner half and tried to pull it, but missed. 1 strike.
Pedroia, 4-time All-Star. Back in 2007, he was the American League Rookie of the Year, and then the next year he won the American League MVP.
Tonkin's velocity still good at 95. A called strike. 0-2. So 2 fastballs to get ahead 0-2. And we'll see if he at least teases Pedroia with the slider.
And if Pedroia tries to go the other way, and it's a good slider if Pedroia swings through.
Really good hitter, just struck out on 3 quality pitches by Tonkin. 2 down. And now Bogarts.
You know, you're looking at Michael Tonkin. I mean, in the minor leagues the last couple years in Rochester, he pretty much proved that he doesn't belong there anymore. You know, he's out of options, so the Twins carried him, and now he's done a very good job here in the big leagues.
The Twins brought 2 players out of spring training, out of options. On the pitching side, Tonkin and Oswaldo Arce among position players, and of the 2, I don't think there's any question that Tonkin has performed well enough for the Twins to imagine him part of a better bullpen next year.
Let's see how he does go against Bogarts here, because he's 4 for 4 in a ball game, and he's driven in 4 of the 6 runs. Came into the ball game 2nd in the American League, just 1 percentage point behind Victor Martinez. And he comes to this at bat hitting .351. Wow,
and even Bogarts, you know, we're trying to give Twins fans some hope for better players and better play down the road. Even Bogarts, he's among the league's best right now, right? Just 44 at bats. He had .250 in his first full year. He had .240 2 years ago.
Yeah, then last year hit .320.
Right. So you know, it'd be nice if everybody was like Mike Trout and they got a handful of at bats and then boom, they're an MVP candidate every year. It just so rarely happens. You've got to go through the awkwardness of players adjusting to life up here almost in every case.
Yeah, you'll call it something else. I call it the roller coaster ride.
Oh, inside 3-2. Roller coaster ride, though. That's
up and down.
Yeah,
you know,
up and down. But it's dizzying, and that's why I always say it's more like the octopus.
Well, believe me, when you're struggling, you're dizzy.
3-2. Runner goes, and the pitch poke foul. And on the pitching side, okay, Tyler Duffy's going through some tough times right now, and he doesn't have the command and the sharpness that he had most of last year.
I don't care who you are, you're going to run into spurts that you start doubting yourself, whether it's your 1st or 2nd year or your 18th or 19th year. I mean, for a while there, the Boston Red Sox, about David Ortiz, they were thinking about, you know, his career is done.
Full count, and the ball grounded to the right side, right to Park. He'll scamper to the bag.
Good inning.
Tonkin with a couple of strikeouts, facing just 4 men in the scoreless 8th.
We start the bottom of the 8th inning here at Target Field. And coming up after the final out, as always, we will bring you Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Tonight we'll look at the pop in the top of the Sox order, in particular Dustin Pedroia and Xander Bogaerts, the 2 and 3 hitters, who have combined tonight for 7 hits and 5 runs knocked in. Plus, a look at how Stephen Wright has shut down the Twins through 7 innings, allowing just 6 hits. And we will hear from Paul Molitor after the game, Dick and Bert, as Wright now starts his 8th inning of work.
And a pitch is up to Eduardo Nunez. Thank you, Marnie. Nunez with one of the 6 Twins hits. It's to the right side. Ramirez flips it underhand and off target and into the Twins dugout.
Yeah, right. Ramirez, that kind of a showboat right there. He had plenty of time to make a better throw.
I would imagine a hit for Nunez, and he'll go to second. I think the ball went into the Twins dugout.
Yeah, that's got to be an error right here. You see, I mean, he gets over there, a good throw, but you can see how he tried to throw that ball from his knee, but he's got time right here to, you see, he's planted on that knee, and for some reason, he just kind of a lazy flip, and Wright couldn't get it. It should be an error, and it is on Ramirez.
Robbie Grossman's reached all 3 times, a single and 2 walks. And over, strike 1.
That error, the second by Ramirez at first base.
One and one.
Just looking at the ERA leaders in the American League, Wright coming into this inning now with 7 shutout innings. That ERA at 2.09. And who was leading was Danny Salazar at 2.84 coming into the game.
Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
No team likes to get shut out, so you'd like to put a run or 2 on the board, if not 7.
That's to the backstop. And Nunez will go to third. It's the first time that Vasquez hasn't handled the pitch cleanly.
Yep. I don't know if that ball skipped on him or if it's a knuckleball got underneath him, but Vasquez, if this is the first time he's caught him, he's done a great job back there. It's a knuckleball that he just missed. Should be a pass ball, and it is.
And now 2 and 2 to Grossman with Nunez at third, nobody out. 3 and 2. Technology is wonderful. We've talked about high definition, the center field camera, slow motion, and all that. And you watch Wright's knuckleball go toward home plate, you can read Rob Manfred's signature on the baseball. It's unbelievable. Tapper right side. Nunez will score. It'll be an unearned run, of course, but at least the Twins are on the board. And Grossman drives in his 14th run.
Yeah, he gets an RBI for that, so the Twins take advantage of the error by Ramirez, and then the pass ball to make it a 6-1 ball game.
Twins don't have a hit since Nunez's opposite field single in the 5th. And they hadn't had a base runner since Mauer hit a comebacker to the mound with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 5th. 1-2-3 6th, 1-2-3 7th, and now the Ramirez error giving them a run. Fastball off the plate.
Matt Barnes starting to loosen up in the bullpen. 100 pitches, or excuse me, 103 pitches for Wright.
Outside again. You've got a comfortable lead. You're Stephen Wright. You've pitched an awful lot of innings on the road. You've kind of spoiled your manager and pitching coach, I suppose, a little bit, because you pitched complete games. There's a ball lashed to left, and Mauer has a base hit.
He went with a fastball, and Mauer hitting it the other way. Picks up his first hit.
And Here comes John Farrell. He may make the move here with Stephen Wright, and he slams the baseball into his glove because you know he wanted to pitch another complete game here tonight.
Well, the air kind of set the stage for him to come out of the ball game.
Twins couldn't do much against Stephen Wright, and he comes off the mound. Gives up the Twins just one unearned run.
Yeah, it's a shame that play by Ramirez, that should have been made, because that basically brought Wright out of the ball game, because he's a guy that could throw like he did 2 starts ago, 122 pitches, try to get that shutout. But instead, it's still a good performance by Stephen Wright. 11 ground ball outs, only 4 fly ball outs, and he allowed 7 hits. Matt Barnes coming out of the bullpen, making his 24th relief appearance. 23 hits in 27 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed a couple home runs, 16 walks, 1 intentional, and 27 strikeouts. Barnes in his 3rd season with the Red Sox, 25 years old. He was a #1 pick for the Red Sox back in 2011 at the University of Connecticut.
So the Twins hitters collectively wiping their foreheads and going, he's out of there.
They're pushing their eyes back normal.
There's Plouffe. He had a single against Wright in the 4th. 1 strike. Ooh, that landed 6 feet in front of the plate. Somehow Vasquez was able to block it.
That ball ended up right in his chest protector and kept the ball in front of him. He's got a report on Barnes. Good fastball in the mid-90s. That's the curveball that he threw about 6 feet in front of the plate, and also a circle changeup.
Outside corner at 98. No activity in the Twins pen, so it looks like Michael Tonkin will get every opportunity to pitch in the 9th inning as well. And Plouffe strikes out at 98, 2 down. I'll bring up Brian Dozier.
And after seeing that knuckleball at 70, 60 at times, all of a sudden here comes a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So Barnes picks up a strikeout, 7th strikeout for the Twins.
I just noticed Vasquez just changed catcher's mitts now. Now he may have changed to a different mitt, and it might have been, I guess, that maybe Barnes broke a lace or something, but he just exchanged catcher's mitts after the strikeout.
Chili's got that glove that'll get back into Wright's locker. Usually knuckleballers carry their catcher's gloves with them.
A life insurance policy for the catchers. And I'll tell you what, he did an awfully good job, and that's a mixed blessing for Vasquez. He did such a good job, he'll probably get another assignment behind the plate, and I'm not sure he wants that.
If he's going to be in the game, yes, he does.
Was it Doug Mirabelli?
Boston's already lost a couple catchers this year.
Well, Vasquez. And I think he exchanged one conventional catcher's mitt for the other. So maybe he popped a lace or something like that. Dozier swings and misses. So Doug Mirabelli was kept in the league for with Tim Wakefield. The Red Sox reacquired him and almost had tried to hold up a game because he was late getting in from the West Coast.
Yeah, remember they traded him and Wakefield went nuts. Nobody could catch him anymore. So they had to make a trade back to get him back to Boston.
1-2. When Charlie Huff was pitching for the Texas Rangers, his catcher was Gino Petralli. And every year you'd look up at the end of the year who led the league in pass balls, and it was Gino Petralli with 26, and the next catcher had 5. And then you had to understand why Petralli had all those pass balls. 2-2 to Dozier.
But you know what it did to Gino? He knew he was going to be out there every 5th day. He's going to get at least 4 at bats, hopefully, as long as his knuckleball pitcher went deep into the ball game.
And he could have had the worst night behind the plate any catcher's ever had. Nobody would say a word to him in the clubhouse for fear that, all right, you want to try? You can go back there. Well, he certainly did a good job. First time he's caught Stephen Wright. And now 2-2 to Dozier. The Twins have a run on the board here in the 8th inning. To left field and deep. Going back is Young. And on the edge of the track, he makes the catch. Twins take advantage of a Ramirez error to get on the board in the 8th. Red Sox score a lot of runs. They've scored 6 of them here tonight and have a 6-1 lead as we go to the 9th inning, and David Ortiz will hit. Ortiz, by his standards, has had a fairly quiet night. Double that was pretty much meaningless in the 5th inning, and Tonkin gets ahead with a strike at the knees. And he hits one to the gap in left center. And this will be just a single with Grossman cutting it off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe a pinch runner right here. Yep, somebody's coming out.
Rusney Castillo will run for Ortiz. We'll get a little bit of a curtain call opportunity here.
Ortiz picking up his 2nd hit of the ball game. As he trots toward the dugout, and a lot of the fans do acknowledge David Ortiz. Very nice.
So Castillo the runner at first, and now Hanley Ramirez. Inside, ball 1. Ramirez 0 for 3 with a walk. Reached on an error on Byung-Ho Park in the 4th. For the hole and through, a base hit. Tonkin, who had a good 8th inning, now gives up a pair of hits to start the 9th inning. And 14 more hits allowed by the Twins pitching staff.
Yeah, Michael's longest outing, 3 innings, that coming back in April in Washington, where he went 3 innings. But normally, you know, he'll go out there for the 2nd inning. Here, a couple base hits. 3 hits allowed by Michael.
Jackie Bradley Jr. hitting .315 with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in coming into the game, and he hit 6th in this Boston lineup. And Tonkin gets ahead, strike 1. We talked about the Miami Marlin lineup and how they opened the series with 6 300 hitters in their lineup. And they pounded out a lot of hits. And it was just, I guess, for the Twins pitching staff, just kind of an appetizer for this Boston series. A lot of depth to the lineup, top to bottom. Half swing. And a ball.
I'd like a ground ball right here. Tonkin's been able to get 3 double plays turned behind him. No matter what the scoreboard says, you still want to make quality pitches.
At the knees, 1 and 2.
Fastball there. I heard Tom Bernansky right there in the background. Get a ground ball. Let's go.
Pop up and a foul ball. Twins shut down the Boston lineup for 4 innings. Tyler Duffy did that, and then in the 5th inning, a 3-run home run, 3 more runs in the 6th that chased Duffy. Breaking ball wide of the plate, 2 and 2. As good as the Boston lineup is, the Achilles heel is thought to be its starting pitching. So too the team they're chasing, the Baltimore Orioles. 2-game spread to begin play today, and the Orioles aren't thought to have the deepest starting rotation in the division. David Price, the ace of this Boston pitching staff. Clay Buchholz moved to the bullpen. He's been ineffective. Full count to the batter. Price has got 7 wins on the year, but an ERA of 4.63.
He had a couple bad outings that created that high earned run average, but that guy's a horse.
Rick Porcello, 7 wins, an ERA of over 4. Buchholz in the bullpen with an ERA of over 6. And the savior of the pitching staff, the guy the Twins face tonight, Stephen Wright. There's Porcello. Just wide of the bag.
What a battle right here. Bradley fouling off a lot of pitches. This will be pitch number 10. He's got to have a ground ball in him somewhere.
Tonkin has thrown a lot of pitches now, that at 96 miles per hour. This will be his 35th pitch of the night. Tyler Duffy went 5 1/3 innings. To left center and deep. Toward the bullpen and off the wall. 1 run will score. Ramirez is being waved around, and he'll score on a triple after a great at bat by Jackie Bradley Jr.
11 pitch at bat for Jackie Bradley Jr. He finally caught up to one of those fastballs and hits it against the fence out toward the bullpen area. For Bradley, his 5th triple of the year and the 18th triple for the Red Sox. Looking to keep his head down, driving that ball the other way.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it. I mean, here they are now with 16 hits, and look through your score sheet and how many of the Boston hits have been to the opposite field and still hit with authority. Pedroia has 2 doubles to the opposite field, and now a triple from Bradley.
And Bradley getting his 5th triple and driving in. Now he has 40 runs batted in on the year.
And he hit 6. Here's Shaw, single in 4 trips. Toronto beat the Orioles in 10 innings at Rogers Center 4-3. So there is a game to be gained by the Red Sox if they finish this game off.
Boston came in 2 games behind the Orioles.
Foul back. Indians have already jumped all over the Angels, and Hector Santiago knocking him out 6-1 in the 2nd inning, and the Indians are still batting. Two strikes. And a pitch up. Presley's warming up down in the bullpen. The hope, of course, was that Tonkin would be able to get through the 9th inning and Presley would get some additional rest. But what has gone right for the Twins in the pitching department? Tonkin running out of gas here. This will be his 40th pitch.
Yeah, I think you know, Eric Rasmussen and Paul Molitor would like to have got through this game with only 3 pitches.
Yes. Well, the Twins had an off day on Monday, and then you get one short start after another, and the Twins were able to win the first 2 games, even though the starters didn't pitch deep into the ball game at all. But it just wears on you. And now these are wasted at bats for Tonkin, but he's out there longer than anybody wanted him to, and so that'll impact when he can come back into a ball game again, and probably how effective he'll be. The starting staff for the Twins has been incredibly disappointing.
Yes.
It started out fine. They weren't losing games because the starters were bad. Here's a ball squibbed back to Tonkin. He'll look at the runner and throw to first and get it out. But since we turned the calendar from April into May, the starting pitching has been dreadful.
Wow, the whole season. I mean, yeah, they pitched well in early April, even though the Twins lost. But overall, coming into this ball game, the starters for the Twins are combined 8 and 28 with a 5.51 earned run average, and that earned run average has gone up here with Tyler Duffy giving up 6 earned runs in 5 1/3. You are not going to win any ball games or many ball games with the starting staff the Twins have right now.
The norm, the average ERA in the American League is 4.15. And the Twins have one nearly a full run higher than that. 2-0. Twins have the infield in here already down 8-1.
It seems like, you know, we're just beating a dead horse. It's just not improving.
And where Tonkin was getting swings and misses in the 8th inning, now he's just getting one foul ball after another.
Well, he's kind of like Jepson. You know, there's not a lot of movement on his fastball, so it's pretty straight. And I don't care if you throw, you know, like Nolan Ryan 100 miles an hour, you have to have some movement on those pitches.
Foul back. And this might be headed into the Boston. Nope, just short of the Boston radio booth. You know, Tonkin's thrown, what, 25 pitches this inning. There's only one out. On the ground. Nunez looks and throws to first, 2 down. Now the number 9 batter, Christian Vasquez. Tomorrow it'll be Kyle Gibson. Of course, that's part of the problem. The rotation that the Twins thought they would take into the season hasn't been there. Phil Hughes ineffective to the bullpen, now on the disabled list. Tommy Milone ineffective, sent down to AAA. Gibson's been hurt since the 3rd week of the season.
Late April, yeah.
So the only 2 guys who've been there to take the ball every 5th or 6th day have been Ricky Nolasco and Irvin Santana. 1 strike. Tonkin winning some points in the dugout if he can finish things up here and keep Presley in the bullpen. 1-1. This might be his last hitter to do that.
Yeah, for Tonkin, most pitches he's thrown in relief this year, 43, and that was the 3 innings he pitched against the Nationals in Washington. And right now, this will be pitch number 50.
Hit hard to the left field corner, but a little hook foul.
Vasquez, 25 years old, out of Puerto Rico. Signed by the Boston Red Sox back in 2008 out of the Baseball Academy in Puerto Rico.
Tonkin leaving that pitch up, and those are the pitches that tend to get flicked foul. Instead of in the 8th inning, we saw him bury those fastballs down around the knees. 1-2. And a good slider ends it. And Michael Tonkin gives up a couple of runs, but he does pitch 2 complete innings and save Presley for tomorrow. the Twins will bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Eduardo Rodriguez will go for the Red Sox tomorrow against Kyle Gibson, who's just been taken off the disabled list.
Yeah, for Kyle Gibson, this will be his 5th start of the year, and for Rodriguez, he started the season on the disabled list, and this will be his 3rd start. So hopefully Kyle will get his rest and go deep into the ball game tomorrow. Josh Rutschledge taking over at 3rd base, and Shaw moving over at 1st.
Park quite happy that Stephen Wright's done for the day. He struck out 3 times, twice swinging, once looking. Swing and a miss, 1-1. On the outside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, Barnes, one of these young men that started with the Boston Red Sox as a starter in the minor league. 77 minor league starts in 90 games, but up here they basically have used him in the bullpen. Hard throwing right-hander. We saw that 98 mile-an-hour fastball.
Ooh, just taken up high, close to strike 3. Park, Kepler, Suzuki, and if somebody reaches, Buxton. Another swing and a miss.
Oh, the big curveball right there.
4th strikeout for Park tonight. And that'll bring up Kepler.
Barnes picks up his 2nd strikeout.
One down, and now Kepler led off the 3rd with a double in a scoreless game. The Twins advanced Kepler to 3rd in the Suzuki at bat, but left him there when Buxton struck out and Nunez hit a fly ball. At the knees, a strike. When I talked with John Farrell about Jackie Bradley Jr. and the difference he's seen, he says he's been much more aggressive, and I think that's something that the Twins want to see from Kepler. Too many times they think he may be taking that first pitch for a strike. Now fastball off the plate, 1-1. And we're an advocate, I think all hitting coaches are, of working the count, getting a good pitch to hit, but until you prove otherwise, the first pitch you get might be the best pitch you'll get to hit. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
But you mentioned, Bradley Jr. when he first came up, he struggled a little bit up and down in the minor leagues, and Kepler mainly in Double-A, a little bit of Triple-A. So patience, I guess, is something that you have to have with a young guy like Max Kepler. But when you're 18 and what are we, 18 and 41?
Yeah.
Patience is not the word you want to hear.
No. 2-2 to Kepler. And Kepler with a good at bat, grounding a single past Pedroia, and he's got a 2-hit ball.
Yeah, got a breaking ball right there, stayed with it. Very good swing right there by Max Kepler, picks up his 2nd hit. Showed Bradley, when he hit that triple, keep his head down, and right there, look at the head going right toward the ball, and a good solid swing. Ball finds its way through the infield.
One-out single, and now Kurt Suzuki. Fastball on the outside corner. Twins a little homer happy in the first couple games of the Marlins series. And even in the Tampa Bay series, they've had series where they've hit a lot of home runs, but all their hits here have been singles and doubles.
Yeah, 1 double, 8 singles.
Now 1-1. Check swing, strike 2. One and two to Suzuki. Just off the outside corner. Wow. Good pitch.
Well, basically, it has been fastballs by Barnes, occasional curveball.
Fly ball right field. And Betts with the catch out number 2, and that'll bring up Buxton. Buxton 2 strikeouts and 0 for 3 night. Buxton's average down to 222. He added up to 250 a couple games ago.
Got to look fastball here. Be ready to swing.
Up and away, ball 1.
No matter what the scoreboard says, you still want good quality at bats. Barnes has shown that he'll come right at you. Not a lot of movement on his fastball.
Chopper to short. And out at second base. That takes care of it. The Red Sox come in, score 8 runs, and allow just 1. That's kind of been the story of their season. Anthony, the Red Sox came into this series against the Twins with a very potent offense, and the Twins pitching staff could not slow them down.
They did exactly what they've been doing all year long, as they've been the best hitting team in baseball. They showed why tonight. 16 hits and 8 runs, more than enough to beat the Twins. Coming up on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll show you how the knuckleballer beat the Twins, and hear from Paul Molitor.